Hello. I am a,
Welcome.
thank you. I'm a beginner. I read the first chapter, and my question has to do with it's not a clarification of doubt more than it's like just curiosity about the common features of humans and animals. So our common features such as food, rest, and fear, and the continuation of the species, all those are common. But my question is in regards to karma, like self-favoring temptations, like touch. Humans love touch, but it seems that animals also love touch,
Yes.
even between species, like the reading talked about moving in, or last week we talked about moving into the sun to warm oneself, self-favoring temptation beyond sex. And then when it comes to just touch, I guess I was just curious about that, about self-favoring temptations as a common feature.
Yes. Did you finish?
Yes.
Yeah. In our tradition, which is a Vedantic tradition, we have this concept of prarabdha karma. Are you familiar with?
That's this whole section that we were studying, right?
It is prarabdha karma is what we call in the West the destiny.
Oh, no, I was not familiar. Go ahead.
Yes. So in our tradition, we have three kinds of karma. We have sanchita karma, which is somehow the store of all karma. We have agami karma, which is the karma that somebody is producing in each and every dream lifetime. And then we have the prarabdha karma, which is the fruition of previous karma from previous janmas, previous lifetimes, in the current lifetime. And this is what we call destiny. In this prarabdha karma, the animals are exhausting, are unfolding this prarabdha karma. So there may be a connection with a human being from a previous dream lifetime, Janma, and then we can see a beautiful relationship between this human being and the animal due to previous dream lifetime. So we have a kind of exhaustion or fruition of previous karma. What we have as a difference with the animals is that the animals do not have what we call free will. That's why they cannot produce a new karma. They are free of that. They cannot produce new karma because they don't have intention. They don't have a thinking process which is elaborating what they should do. They act accordingly and they act according to the prarabdha karma. Then we have when we have the exhaustion of the prarabdha karma of this particular animal, then this jivatma can move to another, what we call reincarnation. And this reincarnation can be in another loka, in another realm. It can be a human realm, it can be another realm as well. We have 14 lokas in Sanatana Dharma. So it needs further study that we will do later on, like more. And then you can understand much more things about this realm of the animals.
Thank you.
But in general, we love the animals. In our tradition, we are also propagating vegetarianism, and we are completely against meat eating and also eggs and even fish eating. And when we use dairy products, we try to find dairy products from places where the cows are not treated badly. So as much as possible, we try to create as less as possible pain and suffering to the poor animals. So we love them. We consider them, of course, that they possess the same Atma, the same spirit. So there is a need of respect for the animals and love to the animals.
I think when you said Atma, I think that's that self-favoring temptation, because they love us too.
Of course, it is the same
Yeah.
Atma. Actually, it is. It reminds me one of my quotes, which says, "There is no you and me. There is only love loving itself."
Yeah.
So actually, the same Atma loves itself.
Yeah. You know, this question was prompted by watching my dogs and cats. Just they both love to cuddle each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so among species, the Atma is just Atma.
Yes, the same Atma functions in all these appearances, and it is only one. There are no many Atmas. There are no many spirits. There is only singularity, one spirit, one Atma. There is no you and me.
That's what my question was, is it talked about self-favoring temptations in humans, but I was like, but I see it in animals. So thank you. I understand this. It all comes back to oneness.
We will we will elaborate more and more as we go gradually to our new scriptures.
Thank you.
Most welcome. Somebody else?
Yeah, I put my hand up. I was reading the second chapter, scriptures, and at the end, after it goes through the 6 different levels, it says that the sampradaya is the method to unlock the spiritual literature. That's what Swamiji says. Sampradaya is the method. He said you need this. So how does the sampradaya function to unlock spiritual literature, and what exactly is it?
Yes, very nice question. So look, sampradaya is what we call with another term, guru parampara, the holy lineage or the holy authentic sangha, which is legitimate and ancient, goes back to God. So sampradaya is the same. It means the authentic guru lineage from guru to sishya, which comes from beginningless time, anandi, till our this current lifetime. So this sampradaya, this holy tradition, helps with many ways. One way is to unlock the codes which are inside the scriptures. The scriptures are not easy to be studied without the help and the guidance of a competent guru, who was, of course, himself a sishya of a guru of a sampradaya. So there is this big need of unlocking and uncovering, unveiling all this that is hidden and it is not so clear in the scriptural study. One help is this. Another help is what we call grace. The grace and the blessings that you receive from the holy lineage are acting as chitta suddhi, as we call it, which means in English we can translate it as the purification of the mind. So already we have the chitta suddhi from karmic activities, karma yoga, which is a recommendation together with upasana from the tradition, from the scriptural study. We have also the guidance from the guru to the Sishya, how to study, how to practice, how to do the all his sadhana, his or her sadhana. And we have also what we call grace. For example, when a guru gives diksha, initiation of a holy mantra to one of his Sishyas, this diksha immediately creates a connection, a link, a vibrant link between the guru, the holy lineage, God, and the Sishya. And from this link, we have the co-emergence of beautiful grace and beautiful blessings, which will support the Sishya to his or her endeavors towards moksha, enlightenment or self-realization. And then we have, from the Sampradaya, we have also the concept of Sangha, the concept of the fellow brothers and sisters under the same guru, where the Sangha can support, can help each other towards the same goal of self-realization, enlightenment, or moksha. So in summary, it is this, the help from the Sampradaya Guru Parampara. And we should not forget what Guru means. Gu means darkness, ignorance, and Ru means the one who removes this darkness or ignorance. Of course, the ultimate Guru, the most profound Guru, is our own self, with capital S, the self, our own Atma, our own nature of Brahman. But because it is veiled with the thinking process, we need what we call the external guru, who can remove this veiling, and then our true nature as Brahman can shine forth. If you like, I can elaborate more.
Thank you for that. I was just going to ask, when you said that, for example, the guru gives initiation into a mantra, and then this makes a connection with the tradition, with God, and so forth. So the grace that then follows, it's a thing. It's like it's not just a concept. It's an actual existential force or blessing. What exactly?
Yes, it is spiritual power. It is spiritual vibrations that comes from the lineage, from God to the lineage, from the lineage to the guru, and from the guru to the Sishya. And this force, this power, is somehow purifying the Sishya and gives him or her the power to continue the process of Sravanam, Mananam, and Nididhyasanam.
Okay, thank you.
Somebody else? So if there is no other question, Andrew, can you continue reading?
I have another question.
Good.
I've got a few questions.
Yes. Go
on. When I was reading about the Vedas, it says, correct me if I'm wrong, it says that the Rig Veda, the first example, it's in the form of prose. I don't know what this means. I mean, prose is like a book's in prose, but a mantra seems quite different from prose to me.
Yes. It is just ways to chanting. It is not so important to go into analysis on this because, for example, Satchitananda didn't receive training how to do proper chanting. So Satchitananda is ignorant about chanting. And also he is ignorant about what we call karma kanda, the entire work of how to do chitta suddhi, purification of the mind. So Satchitananda is mostly focused on Jnana Yoga and Vedanta, Advaita Vedanta in particular. So cannot guide on these matters of chanting and proper reciting and things like that, or cannot guide as well how to do pujas or Vedic rituals in general. That's why you remember we requested from Sringeri to provide us in our upcoming ashram with a priest for all this work. And Dr. Gauri-Sankar, the CEO and president of Sringeri Foundation, promised to provide for us a priest for all this, and also somebody to take care of for our upcoming Gosala.
Yes,
yes.
I remember. Yeah, I just wasn't sure what it meant. That was all.
Yes, it is important, but Satchitananda is not trained on these topics. That's why we have requested help from Sringeri. And of course, it is important to receive the mantra and recite the mantra even if you don't have the capacity to chant it with a proper way, still there is blessing. You can try to chant it, and you can try to chant these mantras of Rig Veda, for example, with the help of a fellow brother or sister in the Sangha who is more familiar with this topic, with this way of chanting or reciting. So, for example, Satchitananda, when he gave the mantra, you remember, when we were in Sringeri and Satchitananda gave the Diksha, initiation to Malati in Sringeri, of the sacred mantra that Satchitananda received from His Holiness the Jagat Guru. He didn't give to Satchitananda the proper, how to say, the proper preparation for that, because we were outside the temple and it was not so easy to speak also about the preparation. And then, if you remember, we went, when we were to Swami Paramarthananda ji, Swamiji gave me a preparation chanting before the mantra. And then Malati taught me how this mantra preparation should be chanted. So now when Satchitananda offers this initiation, this Diksha to others, he gives also this preparatory mantra.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. Somebody else?
Back to the beginning, because I'm a beginner.
No problem.
So
we are very happy to have beginners, because beginners are more open to the real tradition, because those who are not beginners, actually they are worse, because most of the people who say I'm not a beginner, they were involved, a lot of them, with what we call Neo-Advaita or Neo-Vedanta, which is full of mistakes. Both of them have full of mistakes and errors, and they are completely out of context of this holy tradition.
And I would call it
happy.
capitalistic, you know, what has happened to the scriptures as it became westernized, I think is what you're saying.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
Now we have what we call Neo-Vedanta and Neo-Advaita, and all this about non-duality path, which is out of context completely of this ancient, actually beginningless holy tradition. And they just share some of their understanding about non-duality, but all of these people, they are just creating a lot of ignorance and darkness, because when you take something and you offer it without all the context, and you give it and you offer it, you're sharing it as a part, as a small part, then it is always very much obvious that it will create confusion. It's the same what happened with the yoga, you know, in the West.
Or Ayurvedic medicine.
Yeah.
When they do panchakarma and it's not really panchakarma.
No.
Yeah.
And the same what they do with yoga. You go now and you see hot yoga, X, Y, Z, omega yoga, and this and that, and naked yoga, and this and that. And actually, they are completely out of context, because the yoga sastram are so huge, and they provide a whole path. But when you give only the asanas, then it is a disaster. And now everybody speaks about yoga and they mean only the asanas, the physical postures.
Which this leads me to my question. I wanted to stay in the presence of Dharma, like as if creating the presence of your Dharma. Let's call that actively working on well-being, like your objectives of well-being. Of the mind-body complex. Is working on wellness a forward access towards your primary goal of moksha because the level of dharma that is maintained?
Well, to work for a well-being, it is necessary and it is a prerequisite. Otherwise, if you don't have a well-being, how you can have a clarity in your mind? So in Advaita Vedanta in particular, we work a lot with intelligence. We want intelligence. We want a clear mind. We want clarity. We want to search the truth, to do what we call Atma Vichara. So well-being is important, and it is not against the scriptural study. It is welcome to work also for your well-being. Of course,
I guess the question is it an earned continuum, your well-being?
Yes. The only prerequisite is to work for your well-being with following the dharmic rules as are prescribed in the Shastram. So, for example, if by wanting to have well-being, you are eating meat and you believe that this will help you, will not help you. It will create a tamasic mind, what we call from Ayurveda, which will not be beneficial and easy to comprehend the profound teachings of Advaita Vedanta. The same with substances such as drugs, marijuana, alcohol. All substances are not helpful at all for clarity in the mind. So they don't produce well-being, and they also destroy well-being and destroy as well the clarity and the absorption of the mind.
So there is a maintenance involved,
Yes.
what I'm calling maintenance. And is it simpler to work with yourself in a way that, what is, I don't know my question, but what is the best way to work on that maintenance of well-being?
Well,
You might have to repeat what you said, but that's maybe what I need to
Yes.
hear again.
Yes, for example, regular hatha yoga can be very beneficial. Regular pranayamas, breathing exercises as well. A vegetarian diet also is helpful. If you know Ramana Maharishi was speaking very often about sattvic lifestyle. Sattvic lifestyle is about not to use tamasic or rajasic food and substances, and to lead a vegetarian lifestyle. And of course, all the prerequisites such as ahimsa, non-violence in any level. Some of these, as a summary, can be very beneficial for well-being.
Yes.
And also the self-knowledge itself, jnana yoga, the ultimate yoga, jnana yoga, we can say that it works like shock absorber, like the shock absorbers you can find in vehicles of any kind. Because what Advaita Vedanta will tell you is that you are not the body-mind complex. So by regularly hearing that, all the problems in samsara, all the troubles, will gradually affect you less and less. Your attachment to them, to all the worldly concerns and all the worldly things, will be less and less. Why? Because you start hearing from your guru and from the holy lineage that what you are is Brahman, is consciousness, awareness, which is completely independent of the body-mind complex.
Okay.
So the suffering and the pain and all the negative emotions gradually will subdue. And we know that if we don't cherish negative emotions, what happens with the so-called immune system in the so-called physical body? It becomes stronger and stronger. You can be totally healthy without any pharma substances. You can be totally healthy with a strong immune system without the need of this scam, you know.
Yeah, it's like that state of well-being that isn't all good or all bad.
Yes.
It's that place.
The immune system is completely ready by God to deal with any sickness. If you support the immune system and the physical appearance with yoga, with nature, enough nature, touch with the nature, when you support the body-mind complex with the right lifestyle, then you don't need anything from the pharmaceuticals, which by themselves are a big scam.
So we support our well-being. We can earn dharma by supporting it. We can live a healthy, clean lifestyle, but we are not that, is what I heard you say.
We can try to follow the scriptures, which are giving very nice directions to well-being. And this is what we call also purusarthas, the 4 human goals. For example, artha, well-being, is included.
Yeah, I wrote this.
So, but the scriptures, Sanatana Dharma in general, does not give only the announcement that there are these 4 goals. It can work also like a destinator. It can work like a GPS. And the Holy Sastram, the Holy Scriptures, are giving all the prerequisites and all the instructions how to live a happy and peaceful and beautiful life. But it needs study, and it needs to have a mentor, a spiritual mentor, what we call guru.
And looking to, you know, the oneness that you already possess.
Exactly.
Yes. Okay.
Actually, you don't possess oneness. You are oneness, and there is only oneness.
I understand the distinction. Thank you.
Most welcome. Somebody else? So, Andrew, would you like to read a little bit?
Sure. Do you want me to read from roughly where we left off?
Yes.
So it's the first goal, which is pronounced arta. Arta. Here in this context, the very word arta means security. Thus, everything that you procure for the sake of your security, all those things will come under arta. And by security, I mean sheer physical survival. Right from birth, one instinctive and natural urge every living being, including the human being has, is the urge to somehow survive. And anything that you procure for your security, all those objects which you contribute to your security, your physical survival, will come under arta, which will help you in removing your sense of insecurity. In positive language, it means anything that provides for your security. And in negative language, anything that removes your sense of insecurity. And what are those things? You can say broadly, food, clothing, shelter, and health. Food. Right from the beginning, the struggle begins, because you know that without food, your security is in threat. Next is you have to protect your body from the environment. So all the types of clothing that you have, winter clothing, summer clothing, books, and books are written. Special magazines are dedicated for clothing only. And helmet clothing, not only clothing, the helmet you wear for security, the seatbelt that you have for your security, and the breathing filter. You know, have you seen people in two-wheelers? You don't know who a terrorist is and who is an ordinary rider. They tie a towel, they put something. All are meant for what? Security. And your air condition, your car, so that the pollution in the city will not affect your health. So anything that protects your body, shields your body, that is clothing. Food, clothing, and then comes shelter. We are working for a house, Swamiji. I don't have a house to call my own. Before death, one project is what? Own a house. Own a flat, at least in Madhuvangarai or somewhere. So food, clothing, shelter, and then comes health. Fighting all forms of diseases. Anything that you procure to take care of all these four, to safeguard your survival. Whether I am useful to myself or to society, that is the next question. I want to live. And initially, I want to take care of my own security. Then comes the second layer of security, the security for my future. Because in old age, I cannot work, I cannot earn. In olden days, they thought children are the security for old age. But nowadays, doubt is coming, whether the children will take care of us or not. Swamiji, I have got confidence in my children, but I don't know what type of daughter-in-law will come or son-in-law will come. I don't know whether they will allow my children to take care of me. Doubtful. And therefore, better I save for future food, future clothing, future shelter, and future health. And fear of health or diseases becomes more and more as I grow old. Initial part of life, food and clothing become important, and later part of life, health becomes important. Therefore, I procure, visualizing the possible troubles. And then I'm worried about the unexpected, accidental threats, and therefore I have to take all forms of insurance, accident insurance, Mediclaim, this insurance, that insurance, car insurance, So present security, future security, and then comes the next layer of security. Once I possess a few things or people for my security, then I'm worried about what? Their security. This is called Ramayanam. So first, I want clothes for the security of my body. Now I have to regularly clean the clothes for the security of the clothes itself. Therefore, buy a washing machine. For what? For the security of, not you, it is for your security. You'll be dumped into the washing machine. I don't know if human washing machines are there. Don't think the translation's so good there. You have only to lie down and it will scrub your body and do everything. So first you're worried about your clothes, then you buy a washing machine, then there's a power fluctuation. Therefore, washing machine may get spoiled. Therefore, for the washing machine security, you buy you buy a stabilizer. So therefore, security of the security, security of the security of the of the security. Your house gives you security, but you are worried about the security of the house itself. Therefore, you employ who? A security. It's quite funny. A security for the security of your house. This is called life. This is what we are doing without thinking. Then since your security is very important for the security of the house, what is required for your security? You are worried about the security of the security, that if he falls sick, he won't come, and therefore you provide for the for the security also. Similarly, the story goes on and on. So the question is, how do we become less insecure then?
You see, the problem is that there is no available for the worldly people what we call in Advaita Vedanta Atma, Anatma, Viveka, the discrimination between what is real and what is Atma, and between that which is not real and which is all the worldly things. So how something which is impermanent by its nature to provide permanent security? So the question is whether I can discover what is permanent, which is my own true nature as Atman or Brahman or consciousness or awareness, and seek permanent security, happiness, bliss, and peace inside me, instead of seeking all these in these worldly things, because they are impermanent and they are even not really real. They are just appearances. And this is what we need to do in our scriptural study, to recognize our true nature, our true self. When we say I, what we mean when we say I? What is this self that we are referring to? Is it this bundle of skeleton and flesh and a small fleshy thing called brain, ourselves? Is it the person which comes and goes? Is it the emotions, the thoughts? Advaita Vedanta is revealing to us that none of these are our true self, our true nature. Our true nature is that which is able to accommodate, to reveal, and to illumine all these features and all these appearances in itself. So our true nature is consciousness, awareness, Brahman, or Atman. And by recognizing this, and by having a permanent conviction, we can gain permanent peace, happiness, bliss, and security. But all this we can gradually discover altogether in our next webinars. I think it's the time to close for tonight, our webinar, isn't it?
We have a few minutes. We could do meditation if you want. I don't know what you want to do. We have time to do maybe 10, 15 minutes.
All right, so let's do a little bit guided meditation. And Andrew, please stop the process when we need to close the webinar. So close your eyes. Take a comfortable posture. Become aware of the breathing. Become aware of this air that is passing through the nostrils. Do not try to alternate or change the breathing. Just let it be simple and as it is. If there are thoughts that do appear, let them appear without criticizing them, without fighting with them, without trying to reject them. Just let them liberate by themselves. You can notice them like clouds in the sky, which are passing by. Anytime you become aware that you were involved in the thoughts, just let them go. Just relax and rest, especially in even the small break or pause between one thought and another. Where do the thoughts appear? Where do the thoughts abide? And where the thoughts disappear? What is that which is remaining? What is this substratum? What is aware of each and every thought? if there is an automatic response, that which is aware of each and every thought is me, then what is this me? Is that me the fleshy brain in the skull? Is that me the person that you believe you are? If it is the person that you believe you are, can you find it anywhere? Where is this person? What is there being aware of all the questions and the responses? What is the illuminator, the revealer, or the accommodator of all this process? Very slowly, take 3 long breaths with awareness. And when you finish with the 2 breaths, open your eyes and just staring in front of you for 1 minute without movement. Stare in front of you with no judgment. Just look in front of you without any mental fabrications after the 3 breaths. Become aware of that which is aware of the looking. Can you locate the observer? Is the observer inside the skull, imprisoned in the skull or the physical body? Or the observer, the witnessing consciousness, Satchitananda, is without any localization? Become aware of all this, like the home that you are, the place, the room, the body. Every appearance in front of you. Where is the line, the ending line of witnessing consciousness, Satchitananda? Where does it stop and where any appearance start? Does the witnessing consciousness, Satchitananda, has a beginning point or a central point or an ending point? Now, very, very slowly start to move the body, but with awareness. So now, if there is no any announcements or somebody wants to say something, we can close for tonight.